Before we jump into my Chiefs draft grades for the 2023 NFL Draft, subscribe to the channel. Trying to get to 42,000 subs as soon as possible. Could we get there in the next week? Let's try and make it happen. 464 away. Daily videos coming at you, including a live show on Monday. And by the way, tomorrow we will have a Chiefs undrafted free agent tracker video. Couple names already coming in here. Cornerback Reese Taylor out of Purdue. Offensive tackle Jerome Carvin out of Tennessee. Nico Keely-Remigio out of Fresno State. More names to come, more signings to happen. That'll be on tomorrow's video. But today, let's hand out some grades. Welcome into the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. I am Harrison Graham, and today's Chiefs Draft Grades video is presented by Manscaped. Get 20% off with code CHIEFS at manscaped.com. Best men's grooming products out there, including the Lawnmower 4.0. All right, let's hand out some grades for Brett Veach's 2023 draft class. We'll go player by player, and then we'll give an overall grade at the end. It all started on Thursday night with the final pick in round one of Felix Anudike-Uzomah, the edge rusher out of Kansas State. He's the selection here. He was a popular pick during mock draft SZN for the Kansas City Chiefs, and they keep the local kid local as they added the Big 12 edge rusher out of K-State. We've broken down this pick a couple of times, but we'll talk about it a little more here. Competent run defender, could improve in that area, but he's more of a pass rusher. Needs to improve some technique in terms of his pass rushing skills, but he's just kind of a workhorse. He just keeps coming at you. He loves to get after it, snap in and snap out. I like the motor here. Dane Brugler had this to say about the Kansas State edge. Anudike-Uzomah has only average get-off and arc speed as a rusher and must become more consistent in the running game, but he plays hard, mixes up his rush to keep his pursuit alive, which is what he does best. Projects as a physical face-up power rusher with the impact potential to compete for an NFL starting role. I gave it a B grade on Thursday. I'll stick with that. I think his work ethic is going to make him a good player in the NFL. I don't think he's going to be Nick Bosa or anything like that, but I think once he reaches his potential, he could be a 7-8 sack per guy per year, get a little better in run defense, and should be fun. I think as a rookie, his role will be as a blitzer and sub packages coming off the edge, a little smaller than traditional edges for Steve Spagnuolo in this 4-3 scheme, but I think he'll give you a different look. The Chiefs then traded up to in round two, I should say, with the Detroit Lions. They give up 63, 122, and 249 for 55 and 194, and then they selected a wide receiver, Rashee Rice out of SMU. Patrick Mahomes worked out with him in the offseason, told Brett Veach, hey, I want you to go get this guy, and that is exactly what happened. Living here in Dallas, I've seen Rashee Rice play a couple of times in person, and let me tell you, this kid just knows how to play. He can go up and get the football, physical player at the point of attack. He can box out corners at almost 6'1". Big play weapon last year for the Mustangs, 14 yards a catch, almost 1,400 yards and 10 touchdowns. Tom Downey's not as high on Rashee Rice, 99th ranked player. He went 55. I actually love the pick, and considering when you factor in that Mahomes wanted to go get this guy and targeted him as a player he liked, I'm a big fan of that. He blocks in the running game. It's an A grade for me. I think he's a really good player. He was getting round one buzz during the college football season. Didn't have a great pre-draft process, but the tape tells me otherwise. Like, we can't get too caught up in the measurables and the athletic stuff. He can really play, and I'm excited to see how he meshes in this Chiefs offense. What was your favorite Chiefs draft pick? Was it Rashee Rice? Was it Felix Anudike-Uzomah? Was it someone here on day 3? Let me know in the comment section down below. Who was your favorite Kansas City Chiefs draft pick? Okay, let's go to Wanya Morris here, who they also traded up a couple spots from 95 to 92. Offensive tackle out of Oklahoma. I thought coming into the draft they would bring in a tackle to either compete with Lucas Niang or at least offer swing tackle versatility. I think Wanya Morris is exactly that. He had some off-field concerns in college, played at Tennessee and Oklahoma, but has experience at both tackle spots. He's really athletic. The flashes of his size and length have shown up on tape at times, but he's never quite lived up to that 5-star billing. Again, Downey's a little lower on him, but I thought 3rd, 4th round was a sweet spot for him, and you get him late in the 3rd, so that's a good thing. And remember, in this draft, the tackles went early, so that could have pushed up a guy like Wanya Morris just a little bit. Dane Brugler wrote this up when it came to Morris, said Morris has NFL starting talent with his frame, length, and athletic traits, but he looks like a completely different player when his leverage and technique fall apart. If he learns to become more fundamentally sound, he can lock down a swing tackle role in the NFL and eventually become a starter. If I had to guess right now, he will get a chance to compete with Lucas Niang. I think he'll be the backup at tackle and be your swing tackle as a rookie. And then down the road, maybe he's your starting right or left tackle. You never know. If Jawan Taylor struggles at left tackle, maybe they got to kick him back to right. You never know how that situation is going to play out either. B grade for me, solid pick. Maybe it's a tick early for some boards, but you needed to add an athletic tackle, and that's what they did. Today's show sponsored by Manscaped. The NFL draft may be over, but that doesn't mean you can just let yourself loose. You got to keep things nice and tidy downstairs. Below the waist grooming is where Manscaped excels, and that is what they have here with the Lawnmower 4.0, the best ball hair trimmer on the market. 4 adjustable guards, waterproof, wireless charging station. You can leave a landing strip. You can go full shave down there if you want, and if you keep things nice and tidy, that's going to give you a better chance to have success in the bedroom, if you know what I'm saying. Promo code Chiefs at manscaped.com to get 20% off plus free shipping. I'll get that link in the comments and in the description of this video. Big fan of the Lawnmower 4.0 and all of Manscaped's products. Go ahead and go check these guys out. Okay, let's get to day 3 of the NFL draft. Chamarri Conner, the safety out of Virginia Tech, kind of just a special teams pick, to be honest, so it's not my favorite one. But when you have a pretty complete roster like the Chiefs do, if you just want to get a special teams ace in the 4th round, that's fine. I don't love trading up for that, which the Chiefs did here today. Again, they don't need to make 10 draft picks, which is how many picks they had coming into the draft, but you don't necessarily have to trade up for a special teams ace either. I think that's going to be his role. 66 tackles, 2 breakups, inconsistent in coverage. He's got potential to maybe be a high-level 3rd safety at some point. I think early on he's probably a 4th safety with special teams value. Maybe the Chiefs view him as a guy that can play some nickel as well. B- for me. If he's great on special teams, it's a good pick. But if not, I'm not really sure where he fits. Luckily, I do think he is going to be a good player on special teams. B.J. Thompson, this is definitely a YOLO pick by Brett Veach. There's no doubt about it. He was a fringe draftable player for us here at Chat Sports in terms of our grading system. Most thought he'd be undrafted, but a preferred free agent. Took him in the 5th round at 166 overall. The edge out of Stephen F. Austin, transfer out of Baylor. The athletic traits are there, but he's really thin. I think he weighed at less than 220 in the pre-draft process, but he's 6'5", 6'6". He has some pass rushing ability, but he didn't dominate at the FCS level. You would expect that for a guy transferring from Power 5 to FCS, and he was good but not special. Flashes are certainly there. Traits are certainly there. Definitely an early pick, but again, you can be a little more picky when you're a team like the Chiefs. If you look at this guy and you're like, hey, man, I think he could be a stud in 2-3 years. We just got to develop him a little bit. Then okay, fine, no problem. But 5th round, I think if about 30 other teams did this, it would be a worse grade because they could have gotten better value with a different player. C- for me, the upside is certainly there. I think you probably could have done this a round later, though, if I'm being honest. But clearly Brett Veach sees something here, sees some upside, so he went ahead and made the pick. What was your least favorite pick? I'd probably go with this or the Conner pick. This one's more intriguing than Conner, but I think the Conner pick will have more of an early impact on special teams. I think we got to wait and see how B.J. Thompson looks throughout the offseason. He probably needs to put on 15 pounds as well, so we'll have to wait and see. But let me know what you guys think. I love this pick. Keondre Coburn, defensive lineman out of Texas. One of my favorite one-tech day 3 guys, just bowling ball out of the University of Texas. 6 foot, 6'1", 330 pounds. Just a run-stopping machine. And Decent pass rush production this past year for Texas, which I think is intriguing. You lost Colin Saunders in free agency to the Saints. Coburn had 2.5 sacks last year. He can eat up blockers. I think right away he projects as a rotation defensive tackle. I don't think he'll ever be a full-time starter, but I think he'll be a guy that can rotate in, play 25-30% of snaps, and give you some decent production there. So I like that here at this point in the draft, late in the 6th round. B+ grade for me. Much better value than B.J. Thompson and really Chamarri Conner as well. I like getting Coburn late in the draft. And then Nic Jones, cornerback out of Ball State. Some decent athleticism. It's late in the draft. There's really no such thing as a bad pick here on day 3. Brett Veach loves drafting corners on day 3, and here it is with Nic Jones. Hopefully he comes in, can do some stuff on special teams. You think about a guy like Najee Johnson last year. Took him in the 7th round, didn't know if he'd make the team. He did, and he was good on special teams. Nic Jones, that's what he's got to prove. He's got to be able to show that he can be a good special teams player. He doesn't have great frame, great size there. The strength isn't ideal, but if he can play fast enough on special teams, he'll have a chance to make the roster. Otherwise, he could end up being a practice squad stash. Don't know a ton about this kid, so I'll give it a C. It's 7th round of the draft. There's no great. There's usually not a ton of A grades. There's no failing grades. You can't fail at a 7th round pick, in my opinion. C grade for Nic Jones. We'll see what he brings to the table. All right, grade the Chiefs draft for me. A, B, C, D, or F. Drop a letter grade as a whole down in the comments section. Certainly, I thought a couple of reaches on day 3. I think overall, I'll give it a B draft. I like the Anudike-Uzomah pick. Really like the Coburn pick there on day 3. I love the Rashee Rice pick as well. Wanya Morris was solid. Other ones, probably a bit of reaches to me. Add it all up, B grade. Got to trust Brett Veach. He's a proven general manager, so I'm dropping a B. Let me know what you guys think. Subscribe to the channel. We will have a video tomorrow. Undrafted free agent tracker. I teased a few that have already signed. I'm sure more have come in just in the last half hour or so, so keep an eye on that, and we'll see you soon here on the Chiefs Report.